By the mid-2030s, NASA plans to have humans not visiting the moon, but living there. $30 billion committed to a world with no atmosphere, where a single, unshielded day delivers more radiation than an entire year on Earth, and micrometeorites no larger than a grain of rice strike at 64,000 kilometers per hour. The question is no longer whether we're going back, it's how anyone survives once we stay. NASA's current program represents a direct departure from the short-duration visits of the Apollo era. The space agency is organizing a long-range, phased effort to establish a permanent base of operations, transforming the moon from an occasional destination into a functional home. Rather than launching isolated exploratory missions, this program coordinates international partners and commercial suppliers to build lasting infrastructure on the lunar surface. The goal is to construct an outpost that serves as the primary stepping stone to the rest of the solar system. By testing long-term survival systems under extreme conditions, this strategy establishes the operational blueprint for eventually reaching Mars. It represents a systematic, state-funded plan to establish the first human foothold on another world. This strategy directs all resources to a single hostile region, the lunar South Pole. Survival here is a matter of geography. Deep inside craters like Shackleton, Shoemaker, and Faustini, the sun has not shone for billions of years. In these permanent shadow zones, temperatures remain below minus 173 degrees Celsius, freezing ancient water ice into the regolith. Orbiting instruments confirm these dark pockets hold enough ice to fill hundreds of thousands of Olympic-sized swimming pools. But a base cannot survive in total darkness. Just kilometers away, the rims of these same craters, along with features like the Malapert Massif, rise high enough to catch the sun. These peaks receive sunlight for up to 90% of the lunar month. This extreme contrast creates a natural partnership. On the crater rims, solar arrays can capture almost continuous sunlight to power the colony. Down on the frozen crater floors, robotic systems can mine the water ice needed for air, fuel, and shielding. By placing the base where shadow and light meet, NASA transforms geography into a strategic survival map. NASA targets 2028 for the first crewed landing at the lunar South Pole. This mission bridges robotic scouting and active human construction. While the space agency leads the overarching architecture, the physical descent depends on private systems. SpaceX and Blue Origin are currently developing competing landing vehicles to ferry astronauts from lunar orbit down to the cold trap craters. Rather than a final destination, this landing serves as a functional threshold. The arrival of the first crew establishes the operational bridge, turning a theoretical outpost into an active workspace where humans must immediately begin harvesting local resources to survive. This initial team will validate the survival systems designed to protect them against the vacuum, radiation, and extreme temperatures of the lunar night. This permanent presence is not established in a single landing, but through a structured three-phase roadmap. Currently, Phase 1 is already underway on the surface. Robotic scouts and automated commercial landers are mapping resource deposits and testing early technology prototypes, acting as the first active workers on this silent world. Around 2030, the program shifts into Phase 2. Automated cargo flights will deliver modular habitats, dedicated energy nodes, and the first fission surface power systems to the South Pole. This infrastructure converts a temporary foothold into a functional, semi-permanent station, supporting regularly rotated crews who will stay for months at a time. By the mid-2030s, Phase 3 begins. This final step establishes a fully operational, self-sustaining outpost where international crews live and work year-round. This sequential build-out relies on precise scheduling and autonomous machinery rather than raw human labor. Every individual component must function as an evolving system, ensuring that the foundations for long-term survival are already running. The moon offers no air, no weather buffer, and no magnetic field to shield the surface. Without an atmosphere, temperature swings are extreme enough to punish any exposed technology. In direct sunlight, the ground bakes at 127 degrees Celsius, only to plunge to minus 173 degrees Celsius in the shadows. Radiation presents a constant, silent threat. A single, unshielded day on the lunar surface exposes an astronaut to more cosmic rays and solar particles than a full year on Earth. At the same time, the vacuum is filled with invisible ballistic hazards, Grain of rice-sized debris travels through the void at 64,000 kilometers per hour, carrying the kinetic energy of a bullet. Surviving here requires an architecture that is far more than a simple tent with flags. The solution lies in the soil and ice beneath the astronauts' feet. Shipping every liter of water and kilogram of fuel from Earth is financially impossible, forcing the outpost to live off the land. The primary target is the frozen water locked inside the dark polar craters. Automated drill systems, starting with the Polar Resources ice mining experiment, will extract this icy mixture from the regolith. Once purified and stored in cryogenic tanks, this water is split through electrolysis into oxygen for breathing and hydrogen for propellant. NASA aims to produce 10 metric tons of oxygen and 15 metric tons of water annually by 2030. This chemical processing transforms the moon into a deep space refueling station, allowing Mars-bound spacecraft to top off their tanks in low gravity. Beyond life support and fuel, the raw lunar dust becomes the primary shield. Project Olympus, a $57.2 million partnership with the construction firm Icon, utilizes autonomous 3D printing systems to bake the dusty regolith with lasers. These robots will operate independently on the surface, using concentrated thermal energy to melt the soil layer by layer to build landing pads, roads, and heavy blast walls. Tests show that these sintered regolith structures can reach a compressive strength of 30 megapascals, matching the durability of commercial concrete on Earth. This eliminates the need to haul heavy shielding materials across 250,000 miles of space. By using these machines to build protective shells over inflatable habitat modules, the colony can expand its footprint using local mass, breaking the costly logistical chain that binds human spaceflight to Earth. Living permanently on the moon redefines what it means to be an astronaut. Residents face the continuous grind of survival in 1/6 gravity. This lower gravity is gentle on the joints, but catastrophic for the body. Without Earth's pull, bones degrade by up to 2% every month, faster than on the International Space Station. Daily life inside the modular habitats is anchored around intensive exercise on specialized resistive devices, paired with closed-loop systems that recycle every drop of moisture and breath of air. But the physical toll is only half the struggle. The moon operates on a harsh synodic cycle. 14 Earth days of blinding solar exposure followed by 14 days of absolute freezing darkness. Human biology must adapt to a world without a natural day-night rhythm. To keep the lights on and life support running through the long lunar night, solar power is not enough. The base relies on compact fission surface power reactors developed by Westinghouse and BWXT. These 10 to 100 kilowatt systems hum silently in the background, providing the uninterrupted electrical energy needed to keep the colony alive when the sun goes down. A geopolitical contest is taking shape at the lunar South Pole between NASA and China. China is actively developing its International Lunar Research Station, targeting a functional base before 2035. This parallel campaign creates the most consequential space race since Apollo. The focus has shifted from temporary exploration to establishing permanence. As both nations target the same sunlit rims and frozen craters, the moon is transforming from a scientific outpost into a strategic arena. It raises the question of whether this silent world is merely a testing ground, or the place where human life begins to unfold away from Earth. The real challenge is no longer just surviving the lunar night, but sustaining ourselves. As we carve a home from the cold southern craters, the moon ceases to be a destination. It becomes our stepping stone. Are we ready to leave Earth behind? Let us know your thoughts below.